Welcome back. In the previous task, you explored some of the functionalities of tables in Excel to sort and filter your data as well as obtain quick information from the data. In this task, you will learn how to apply conditional formatting to the cells of the table to answer some of the questions we will have about our data. Let's begin. With conditional formatting, you can define rules to highlight cells using a range of color scales and icons that'll help you analyze data and identify trends or outliers. And there are many built-in conditions that we will explore in this project. Let's say, for example, that for every quarter, each salesperson is expected to earn above $5,000 in sales in order to keep up with the minimum revenue necessary for the company to be at a profit. As someone overlooking the sales team, it would be useful to highlight those values in each quarter that fall below the $5,000 threshold. Using conditional formatting, we can highlight the cells in Q1, for example, that are less than $5,000. So we will start by first removing the filter that we have put on the division category by clicking on the filter icon and then selecting all, and we'll apply that. And now to add the conditional formatting to the cells in Q1, you'll start by highlighting the entire column by clicking on the label for the C column, and then you're going to go to the Home menu, and you're going to click on the conditional formatting icon, which has some of the cells highlighted in red and blue. And within the conditional formatting menu, you can see that there are many different ways that we can highlight cells. You can highlight cells based on different rules, like if the value is above, below, or in between certain numbers, or even if the text cell matches a text within that rule. Then you can also highlight cells that fall between the top percentage or top number of the cells in that range, or even the bottom percent or bottom number. And then finally, you can highlight cells using a range of data bars, color scales, and even icons to show how the values of the cells compare to one another. In our case, we want to start highlighting the cells that fall below $5,000. So you will select the option Highlight Cell Rules, less than, and it'll open the conditional formatting window. So we could see here that we're applying this range to the entirety of column C. And then as for the rule type, we have that we're highlighting cells with a cell value less than, and here we will define the $5,000. And now we can select what format we want for those cells, and here we have a number of limited options. In this case, we'll highlight the cells just with red text. And when you have the rule defined, you'll click Done. And now we could see that in column C for Q1, those values that fell below $5,000 have been highlighted with red text. And this can be useful to track using conditional formatting to assess maybe any issues a salesperson might be having, or even to offer additional training and resources. Now, let's say that you want to identify who were in the top 15% in sales for the first half of the year in order to maybe offer a bonus for their hard work. In this case, you would want to highlight column G for current total and apply conditional formatting to that column. So you'll click on the conditional formatting icon, and within the top bottom rules, you'll see that there are predefined rules for highlighting the top 10% of the cells. However, we can create our own rule by clicking on New Rule. We will make sure that the range applied is correct, which is column G. And now we're going to define the rule. So you'll click on top bottom since we want to highlight the top 15%. And here we will change the value to 15. And we're going to check that we're highlighting the top 15% and not the top 15 values or 15 cells. And in this case, we can choose another formatting style Let's select green fill with dark green text and click Done. And here we have now highlighted the top 15% of the salesperson for the first half of the year, which is the current total. Great job. And with conditional formatting, we can also color code cells within a scale. As someone overlooking the sales team, it could also be useful to color code the percent progress column in a scale of red when the progress is low to green when the progress is high. To do so, highlight column I for percent progress, and you'll click on conditional formatting, color scales, and we'll choose the first option that starts with green and goes down to red. And now we have color-coded the cells in this column to give us an idea of the progress in sales with respect to the target. The cells that have a red tone indicate that the salesperson is falling a little behind with respect to how the others are doing. Great job. Well, this step completes this task where you have learned how to apply conditional formatting to the cells of the table to answer some of the questions we had about our data. In the next task, we will move on to the process of creating charts with our data. For this process, we will first learn how to create pivot tables to summarize our data, which we will then represent in the form of a chart.